Hi, I'm Peter Connett with Daily Extra, and I'm here with Charlotte Cook, the Director of Programming of Hot Docs, and we're going to talk about some of the great LGBT titles that are at the festival this year. Hi, Charlotte.
Hey.
So let's start actually with the opening night film, which is about a wonderful lesbian comedian.
Yeah, the film's about Tig Notaro, who's this incredible comedian, and it really charts like a year in her life after some really terrible events that happened to her, from having this insane blood disease, to having a breakup, to her mother dying, to then being diagnosed with cancer, and her very famous show in which she kind of walked on stage and opened with "Hello, I have cancer,"
which ended up becoming sort of a viral sensation.
Absolutely, and rocketed her to stardom. And so she was dealing with stardom while also just having been diagnosed with cancer, and it follows that year in her life.
I struggled a week ago on stage like I hadn't in years, and what it did do was put a fire under me.
You know, there's tons of great other films. Out to Win, which is, sort of tackles the sort of very right now topic of LGBT people in professional sports.
Absolutely. This film's by Malcolm Ingram, who is a long-time hot docs kind of filmmaker. I think this is his third film at the festival, local filmmaker. And it really looks at this, exactly what you said, this pivotal moment in sports where, you know, being gay within professional sports is really a huge subject right now. And it follows kind of everybody you'd want to talk about it, from Martina Navratilova to Michael Sam. And we also have three other subjects coming, so 3 athletes are coming to talk about it.
This is being a panel sort of supplementing
Yeah, we're having a big ideas screening, so we have a big extended Q&A with them afterwards.
That's great.
If I'm going to be sticking out, it would be being outstanding rather than being freakish.
You know, if you go down the list, it's so varied. The Amina Profile, which was a huge deal at Sundance this year. And we don't want to give too much away, obviously, because it's a twist, but essentially, from what I understand, it's sort of a lesbian love story that turns into a international political thriller?
Absolutely. So it follows the blog, The Gay Girl in Damascus, and this woman who was involved with the main writer of that blog. And if you don't know the story, I don't want to give it away, but it's an incredible look at not only the gay politics within the Middle East, but also online kind of identity.
And we also have a lot of great films about LGBT families, Gaby, Baby, and Going Down the Road.
I don't know, anyone who has a family like mine. It's not normal, you're not normal, the kind of things which go around my head.
It's really interesting in terms of the children of gay parents. So on the one hand, you have Gaby Baby, which shows 4 different children who are being raised by same-sex parents, and then you have From This Day Forward, where the filmmaker is the parent of a transgender father. So they're really amazing looks at what it means to be the child of same-sex parents, but also the parents' experience themselves.
The people who raise you and make you who you are today are your family.
Also a really interesting topic that's not often discussed in LGBT culture is aging LGBT people, and Over the Rainbow seems like it's a fantastic
this is a great story, and this lady realized, I think she always knew to a certain extent, but hadn't really admitted even to herself that she was gay, and kind of comes out at 68 years old and has this entire new lease of life. She spent most of her life looking after her mother and hadn't really had romantic relationships, and so it really follows what it means to come out at 68 years old. So.
And I mean, one of the films I'm most excited about is a film that I've actually already seen many times. You guys are doing a 25th anniversary screening of Paris is Burning, which is sort of a legendary LGBT documentary at this point.
Vogue, because some of the movements of the dance are also the same as the poses inside the magazine.
So this is a special screening we're doing with the Cinema Eye Honours. They gave it their Legacy Award this year, so we do that every year in honour of that film, but it's a particularly wonderful film that it hits the 25th anniversary of this really seminal film about kind of the drag ball scene in the 80s in New York.
There's also a lot of great titles from sort of countries around the world that we don't necessarily hear a lot about in terms of their LGBT culture.
Absolutely. So we have a Finnish film called Leaving Africa, which is set in Uganda. It's about 2 friends who are trying to really power through for women's rights, and they're both teachers, and their relationship gets called into question when Uganda has serious problems when it comes to LGBT rights, and that's a really interesting dynamic in film. Also, we have A Sinner in Mecca, which is the filmmaker himself, exploring what it means to be gay and Muslim.
So outside of the Out to Win panel, are there other LGBT-focused events that are happening at the festival?
Well, we always have one party every year which you host, which is our favourite LGBT party and event of the festival.
Well, thanks. Hot Cocks is the name of the party, sorry. It's the 6th edition, and it's happening at Wrong Bar on the first Saturday, so the 25th.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, so it goes till 2 in the morning, so book off your Sundays if you have to work. So thanks so much for being here, Charlotte.
Thank you for having me.